This is your morning brief for Tuesday, January 29th. Nvidia short-circuited yesterday with a pre-earnings release on their revenue guidance. They said it'll be $2.2 billion, and it was way down from the previous quarter of $3.1 billion. So that's a big haircut of about 30%. And they blamed China. I didn't really like the language and the rhetoric and blaming China and all this stuff. I mean, it's a 30% cut, not a 5% miss or something like that. It's a huge cut. There's more to the story than just China. So we did a report on Nvidia just yesterday. Have a look at that one. But in short, it's not time to get back into Nvidia on this drop. Okay, PG&E files for bankruptcy protection. That shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. The stock has dropped, before today, 70%. I guess it'll go to zero now. And they were the utility out in California blamed for the forest fires, and it's pretty rough. Now, we did have an alternative. We thought Edison was still viable. Edison is EIX. And it's also out in California. It took some of the blame, but not clearly the brunt of the blame was on PG&E. So Edison is still standing, and it was a good utility before the forest fire. So I still think it's a pretty reasonable investment. U.S. charges China's Huawei and its CFO. The Justice Department charged Huawei and its chief financial officer, Meng Wanzhou, with conspiring to violate U.S. sanctions on Iran by doing business with Tehran through subsidiary it tried to hide. Okay, so what's this mean for the market? Well, it's not great. These trade sanctions with, or not sanctions, just trade wars with China, this is not going to help, and the trade wars is a big drag on the market right now. So this just isn't going to help, but it doesn't seem, it's immediately going to have an impact. It didn't change anything in the futures market, so, but it's not helping, that's for sure. Okay, we're in the middle of earnings season. We got a ton of earnings today. It looks like 3M, Allergan, Biogen, Harley-Davidson, Lockheed Martin, Pfizer, Pulte, Verizon all report before the bell. After the bell, Apple, obviously everyone's going to watch that. Advanced Micro, Amgen, eBay after the close. And as I said, futures are close to break even. Maybe some of these, as these earnings roll out before the bell, maybe that'll change things. But as of right now, it looks like we're in for a normal open, not too big swing either way. That's your morning brief for Tuesday, January 29th.